It's all happening. Iran. Man, that's chaos over there. And you know how it started? 3-hour tour. That was it. 3-hour tour. Next thing you know. No, the currency. Currency collapsed. Places are all closed. The young are pissed and angry. And it devolved from, we're sick and tired of this. We can't afford anything. We can't do anything. When you take away everything from everybody, your time is limited. See, people say, well, what about North Korea? North Korea never had that. They never had any of that stuff. China recognized we can't do this. We've got to use capitalism to fund our desires to stay afloat and to keep the communists in power. They recognize that. Iran, your economy's destroyed. Nobody has any hope for a future who's under the age of 70. You're out of water. And then you've crushed their souls when it comes to your overregulation of, morality. Apparently they didn't go to my pickleball game. So if you give people something, they'll hang on for a little longer, right? But the minute, if tomorrow China said, that's it, everybody, we're controlling everything. We're taking everything over, and you guys can't have any of it. There's no more economic freedom. Well, now you've taken it all away, and watch what happens. Watch what happens.
Plus, they shut off the internet, so there's got to be a ton of young kids over there going through withdrawals.
Absolutely. And you can't do that. We know you can't do that.
China applauds the move.
I bet they do. China knows. China's watching what happens. See, a few years ago, Xi was in trouble because their unemployment for the youth was up high. So you know what he did? To go to school and university in anywhere, if you're Chinese, is a big honor. He just told everybody, free college. There you go. Everybody's in.
And just so everybody knows, there is actually, the government in our country has voted themselves the exact same kind of kill switch that the Iranians just used.
Yes, and theirs is better. Theirs is better because the difference is they don't have the opportunity to take down Starlink. There had to be a call.
Supposedly they're jamming it.
Yeah, they're not jamming it. Our stuff works. There's a wake-up call to China the other day. Going, whoa, man, look at that. They rolled right into Venezuela like an owl. You want to know why? Because owls' feathers don't make noise. So they're quiet. And came in, snatched that guy right up. Took him off. Bye. None of our stuff worked.
Can you imagine him waking up in the middle of the night? Going, who are you people?
What are you guys doing here?
We're your taxi back to court.
Yeah. Hey, how do you like helicopters? You're going to be on some, so here we go. Get 6 outfits. What? I was reading today that one of his sweatsuits or one of his outfits, it had gone, people started going out and buying it because that's who we are. They're like, hey, you know what? That's a nice outfit. I think I'm going to get that. I think I'm going to do that right there. That guy, that guy right there, that Maduro cat, yeah, he's got some style. Idiots.
So, going to see a bunch of people running around in Maduro outfits.
It's just so hilarious. Who are you? What are we doing? But I want us to stay out of Iran, outside of what we're already done. Look, us and the Mossad, we have flooded their stuff when they say, America's behind this. We're not behind the beginning of it, but we'll definitely push it. But I don't want to get involved any more than that. Because the last thing you want to do is, and you're seeing the people in the streets, they recognize if America comes in and Israel comes in any real form, then they're just going to get passed to another Shaw-like, puppet, which is what they don't want. They want elections. They want to wear jeans. Well, they can't wear jeans. You can. If you ever go, and not just the 70s when people talk about, go look at the 60s and 70s in Tehran and Beirut, we're swinging and woo, look at us. Go look at even now. If you're in Tehran, it's a modern society. They just have, minders. Could you imagine a minder? We used to have those on the beach. I was talking about that with Matt the other day. Back in the 20s and stuff, if you wore those, your swimsuit was too long, they give you a ticket. I mean, too short, they give you a ticket. That's insane. That's America. America. Crazy. Chairman Powell, he's in a lot of trouble.
The president has every right to criticize the Fed chair. He has a First Amendment right, just like all of you do. And one thing for sure, the president's made it quite clear, is Jerome Powell is bad at his job. As for whether or not Jerome Powell is a criminal, that's an answer the Department of Justice is going to have to find out.
Try to figure... They want to do that so bad. He wants to give it to Kevin Hassett. Have you seen that guy? Oh.
He's fellow with the glasses, right?
He's the little fellow with the glasses. I feel like he's just... No. Because you know why they can't give it to Marco? Because Marco's going to be the king of Cuba? Is that what they were talking about the other day?
Yeah.
President of Cuba?
President of Cuba.
How does that even work?
I swear, if Marco's not making about $250 million a year, he's being underpaid with all these jobs he has.
How does that work? You're talking about him being the president of Cuba. How can he be the president of Venezuela and the president of Cuba and the Secretary of State? What are the other jobs he has?
National Security Advisor or something like that.
Yeah. There was one other one.
But what you do is you get Venezuela to annex Cuba or Cuba to annex Venezuela, and then he just operates them as one.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Or just, are we going to keep him for ourselves? And then you're not going to give him Greenland too, are you? We can't do that.
You have to. He's already bought the wardrobe.
Yes, he's already got the big jacket, the big puffy jacket. Greenland. We didn't go in this weekend, boys. We didn't.
Going to take it whether they like it or not. Shut up.
My thing that makes it, I know, so ridiculous. Well, the strategery of it all. Okay, what's the strategery of it all? They're a NATO country. Or whatever. They're a territory of Denmark. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Are there not better things to do to focus, like the economy? That's a good thing. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on those things that matter. Let's focus on the economy. Let's focus on figuring out how we're going to get this, what's going on with AI. Like that's a serious issue that I worry about a little bit more than some people. I'm excited about it, but the way that China's doing AI, I find to be very fascinating. They're winning in AI for the average person. They're far behind in AI for what we consider the military side of stuff. Because they're putting limits on AI there, on what AI can do and can't do, as far as, because they recognize they cannot have a nation of people who don't work. That doesn't work well. It doesn't. It's going to end poorly. We can't have that. As much as that guy on Saturday that helped me at McDonald's wants to not work, and I'm fine with him not working. But we can't have that, and because it just takes away the human spirit. We want to achieve things. Man, it's just crazy times. Crazy times indeed. It was interesting. Somebody texted in. I thought this was rather interesting. We were talking about those QR codes because there's a big payout coming out from one of these parking lot owner. I don't even know if they own. Do they own the actual parking lot, or they just own the facility, the facilitation of paying the owners?
I'm not sure.
So somebody said, this is crazy. They went to sign up for one of those. They went to a concert downtown, and they said they scanned the QR code, did everything they're supposed to, and it signed them up for a streaming service. That's
at full price, probably.
Probably. He goes, I wouldn't have known. Had it not, I got the bill, and I was like, oh, you got to check your bills.
Absolutely.
You do. You do. I mean, you think about how big even our government, we're going after Powell. Why are we going after Powell? Because $2.3 or $8 billion. Hell, he stole it. We know he stole it. He didn't steal. What is he doing with it? He has to go to Congress. It's not like he's carrying out like, oh, what do you have in the cash box at work? You don't have that kind of money. So you go and you get it and but it's government. If government tells you, give me a bid, what they're really saying is, how much do you want to make? Have you seen that movie War Dogs?
Mm-mm.
It's a true story. It starred, God, what's his name?
Nicolas Cage.
No. Well, he should, but no, that's Man of War. It stars Miles Teller and Jonah Hill, and it's a true story of these two guys who they were childhood friends, and they meet later on in life, and they start selling arms, providing arms to the U.S. And they're just kind of a bunch of just idiots. But their bidding process is so ridiculous. The government bidding process. Go watch it. Because when they got the bid to supply all this ammo and everything to the government, they said, you know why we took your bid? And he's like, yeah, because you guys were $500 million cheaper than everybody else. Because they were just trying to win the bid. And they thought their bid was out of control. I mean, it just shows you how much money is out there. It's crazy. And we talked about it last hour. The fact that we've got a government that still cannot account for $1.9 trillion has failed the last 8 audits. I just, when it comes to the Department of War, that's, your Pentagon. That's just how much money's there.
There should be some members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in jail for that.
Yeah. So, Lord of War, you're right. Yeah, there should be, right? I mean, there should be. We were just talking about a guy who stole gold out in Canada, eh? It went to India. Yeah, you're never finding that guy. I was very racist. No, I'm just saying he's buried far deep inside somewhere, took as much gold as possible, right? The only way you're going to find him is when you go to his village and everybody in his village has gold.
Everybody's got a nice house. They're not worrying about food.
All made of gold.
All the new plumbing's been put in.
All made of gold. So my question, somebody said, is the Fed is supposed to be independent. Why are we paying for the renovations anyway? Well, it's government, but it's supposed to act independent of the executive. So nothing's ever independent the way you think. And if they had to charge, wonder what they would charge. What do you think Powell's making? $500,000 a year? He's like, is this really worth it? Now he's going to stick around for as long as he can.
No, he wouldn't be making $500,000 because Fauci was highest paid at four something.
Oh, God.
So he's probably $250, $300.
Let's take a look at Jerome Powell's salary for the nightmare that is. He's going to be making, no way, $190,000.
Well, no wonder he's skimming off the top. Who can live on that?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You know what you need to do, Jerome? You need to get yourself some of them meme coins. 109, that's it? $190,000? To be arguably one of the most powerful financial drivers on the globe? And you make $190,000. He must get a lot more for when they go in and do, he go give those speeches.
People are so used to the Fed being there, but it has done more damage to the American economy since it was established in 1913 than practically any other institution that is related to our government. We talk about how bad centralized planning is and how that's, that's the downfall of communism and socialism. There's no reason for us to have a central bank.
No, there isn't. There isn't. But it's, it wasn't a reason.
But it ain't going away now.
It isn't, because government never goes away. Ever. Ever, ever. You put it in somewhere, its tentacles get, and then its goal is to stick around, survive.
It's a cancer that just metastasizes all over your body.
All over. And the U.S., well, we're its body, unfortunately. All right, coming up, we got some more good stuff on the way. Is tonight the last Aaron Rodgers football game? Could we see it? There's a possibility. There's a crazy weekend of football. We'll talk a little bit about that. Got a bunch of other good stuff on the way. This is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Dave texted, Jefferson and Madison railed against the evils of a central bank. And then my favorite, and go Steelers. This weekend, if you've not seen anything online, there's 2 things you need to see online. First, go watch all the Packer fans for the first 3 quarters online, talking the biggest smack you've ever heard about the Bears. Then go to their stuff the next day to see how sad they are, or better yet, watching so many people break their TVs in their homes. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. This might be his last game tonight. So he had an okay year, but, is he 43? Does he really need to do this anymore? You got a wife now. You probably want to have a kid. You want to go have all the ayahuasca you've ever had? Because he seems like that. Oh, and the other thing to see on the internet, I don't know if you guys have seen this. I think I sent it to you guys. Hershey, Pennsylvania, the Hershey Bears. There's like an AHL hockey team. It's like just this like AAA, just below. They had, so in between periods, little kids come out and they skate. Bench clearing brawl. They're all about 7 or 8 years old. They're all just throwing blows, beating on each other. It is so hilarious.
Does the last man standing get a trophy?
Here's one kid is so out of control. He's swinging on his own team. It is fun. And by the way, there's no referees or coaches or anything. These kids are just throwing
He finally
blows.
knocks everybody else out, starts punching himself in the face.
Oh my God. It was so, I'm like, this is what the internet was for. This is what the internet was for, not the other stuff. Not the internet. Somebody wants you to give they're like, Bell, you should go back to 1871. You can go back a lot when it comes to the
government
reserve.
mistakes.
Yeah, the mistakes. The mistakes happened a lot of the way through. There's been a lot of mistakes. There's been so many mistakes. I saw the best T-shirt this weekend. I told my wife we got to get it. I think it was on like TikTok Shop or something. It's a picture of Jesus and George Washington, and it says, and George has his hand to his head, and it says, "Oh, did these people listen to nothing I said?" And then Jesus is like, "I hear you, bro." And I'm like, yeah, that's about it right there. That's about it. We're trying to get our buddy Nathan works at Busy Bee. His kids is now going to be, interning at the Capitol, looks like?
Yeah.
That's got to be cool. That is. It's got to be cool. We're going to try to get him come in next week.
He's just got to be careful. Don't be getting wrapped up in all those drugs and the drinking and everything that happens up there.
Yeah, don't be doing that. Stay away from Afton. No, she's nice. Go say hi to her.
Afton's in Scotland.
I know. I saw that. She's in Scotland. Very much so. She says she's not running again.
No.
She's had enough.
Well, she's going to run for the local seat again.
Yeah, for her.
Yeah, but she's not going to run for
Congress.
Yeah. It was an interesting race. There's no doubt about that. And but that's good. Yeah, I like it when kids get involved in politics. But you should. Here's the thing: don't become a professional politician. But it's good to know. It's good to do some of your civic duty. Get down there and see what's going on. And a lot of times you go down there and go, "These people are insane."
And remember, doing your civic duty can include getting a politician arrested.
Very much so. Yeah. Look at that. Just be careful down there. Like you said, the drugs and the partying and the craziness and the chaos and the yelling at each other. I wonder, because if you know any of these people, you also know that some of them are so full of crap.
Don't stab yourself on Leader Lambert's hair.
Do not do that. Do not do that. I'm excited to see what this session looks like. Are we going to get any chaos out of it, you think?
Of course. Yeah. If Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, and what was her name? Gloria.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Oh, Johnson.
If they're there, we're going to get us some chaos.
She's a bigger girl. Yeah, we're going to get some chaos. At the same time, it's the showboating that is also fun. The standing up and showboating and yelling and stuff over what?
Yeah, that'll be Justin Jones.
Oh, he loves that stuff. Because it's the same thing we've talked about all the time. You cannot raise your profile without going overboard and stuff. So you have to go overboard. But the question is, are we going to get anything real done? And I know I saw a local congressman in Chattanooga. I've got the audio somewhere talking about that apparently that we were drawing up some new stuff to be some sort of tester thing for ICE and immigration here in Tennessee. I don't know what it looks like, but that'll be interesting to see too. So it's going to be interesting. No doubt about that. All right, coming up. Are you an independent? What? We shall talk. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. Are you independent? Now, we pride ourselves on the show being as independent as possible. I am, and the reason is like, you're a liberal. Then you're like, you're a hardcore conservative. Yeah. First of all, we're fun. Most important thing. Secondly, I'm independent because the liberals are insane and the Republicans are a shell of what they used to be. They are. They don't, we always joke about it. You could walk into their office and right, they have their, here's our statement of who we are and what we're. None of those things are true. None of those things. Right? They don't have their mission statement on the board because their mission statement is, they don't even know. What is it today? Well, I don't know.
What's going to benefit us this week?
Which corporation is going to give me the most money? I mean, the amount of money that flows into, that's the thing. It's funny. I was like today, Bell was asking me about salary caps in football. I was like, this is really weird. Why were you asking me that?
Because I was just curious because there was a story about in my feed about what Travis Kelce made last year with all the different elements of his contract, what they paid and how much he made.
He made a lot of money. Plus, and that didn't even count the fact that I think he and his brother sold their podcast. They're not sold, but like joined up, and they got a massive, I think it was like $100 million or something.
Wouldn't surprise me.
That's good money. Again, they're not going to win next year in the new podcast category that we're going to win, but still.
But I mean, they got that money because they have that kind of drawing power.
That's exactly.
Just like with Rogan.
100%. 100%. It's important. I wish we had a salary cap in politics. I think it would be great.
You mean like term limits?
Term limits and salary cap. Everybody, you know what? The money goes in here, and guess what? Everybody gets the same. You guys got to go fight it out amongst yourself, and you don't know who gave you what. Oh, they would hate that. Well, who am I supposed to give my loyalty to? Who bought me?
Never, ever be loyal to a politician.
You know what I would like to see? All the big donors show up one night and somebody go, two, give me two, give me two. What do you think of Mitch McConnell? Two, who wants two? Give me two, give me two, give me two. Oh, Chad. Well, sold for $1.
Well, a little expensive, but okay.
Yeah. Lindsey Graham's all, two, give me two. Super. Sold to the war machine. And because he is just nothing but a warmonger.
Or to the well-dressed man in the back.
Or to him. Or to two guys in San Francisco. Oh, jeez. But I say that because more and more people are identifying as independents. Ready for this? 45% of adults are now independent. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, we still have what? Only two choices. Because the libertarians are insane.
Well, the Libertarian Party is just an absolute clown show. And in their defense, though, both the Republicans and the Democrats have gone out of their way to legally make it difficult for a third party to get any traction.
Yeah, because they don't want anybody honing in on their stuff.
Yeah, you can't take our money. That donor money's for us.
It's Coke and Pepsi, baby. They only want Coke and Pepsi.
No RC Cola here.
No, the RC. Yeah, RC was, get rid of that. They go out and buy. No Tab. What?
Tab?
No Tab.
I thought that stuff was going to taste good. It was terrible.
It was. My friend's dad was so obsessed with Tab. If you go over to his house now, I guarantee there's a couple cases there. He passed away last year. I guarantee. There were times the entire garage was Tab.
I remember when those ads for that first started coming out in the 70s.
The chick running down the beach.
And my mother had one at one time, and I was like, oh, I want to taste this because it was just everywhere. And I took a drink of it and literally wanted to vomit. It tasted so bad.
There was a lot of saccharin in it.
Yeah.
Ugh. A lot of saccharin.
And I'm thinking to myself, how dare you put a woman on the television acting like she likes this?
Yeah, no doubt. How about that? That was crazy. But let's do that. See, that's what they do. This is business. If you guys don't think it's business, Mark Singer, you guys know who he is? Muckety muck, lot of money. Guess what he bought and was finalized in, October of last year? A small island just outside of New Jersey that was owned by Citgo, which is the Venezuelan, country-owned thing. He got it. You know what it is? It's a refinery meant for, yes, their oil. Oh, Trump talked to him before he talked to Congress. Guess why? You guys think something? He gave $6 million to Trump. You don't think that's good business? Of course, they all sell us out. The Democrats sell us out to anybody at any time. The unions? Oh, good God. Yeah, are you kidding me? Go look at those unions. The newsrooms, the media, all of them. That's why more and more people are looking for, how do we get away from this? The problem is we don't have a third party. I would love a third party. We don't. And like you said, you could get a good person who's a libertarian who, if you put them on stage, is going to be great against any of these. The problem is they just can't do it.
But even people like Ron and Rand Paul, they are both total libertarians, but they had to run as Republicans to be able to get anywhere.
Yeah. It's like Bernie, right? A social democrat. Same thing with Angus King and all of these guys. What do they have to do? They have to caucus and run as a Democrat. Even now, in California, the big battle for mayor that's coming up, Spencer Pratt, who was on the Hills or whatever, he lost his house in the fire. He is just anti the insanity in California. If you're a Republican and you want to win a seat, you better run as a Democrat. I mean, or as an independent.
Did he get his house built yet? Rebuilt?
No, God, no, that's never getting built.
They're not. How many houses have been rebuilt? Like 2?
I was talking, we got to get Alex Stone from ABC News. He was just down there. He says, you'll be driving down the street and you'll hear some stuff. And he goes, then there'll just be one house and then nothing for miles. There's nothing been.
Gotta love those California regulations. They're so
and they cut them.
oriented.
Remember, they cut them. They cut them. Now, what's sad is the old people that lived there for years, right? They were house rich, but they were on fixed incomes. They bought the house in 1960.
Luckies.
Yeah, they were. The same house in Compton or La Habra cost about the same as it does looking at the ocean back then. The problem nowadays is with that is they can't wait around forever, and they're not going to have the money to rebuild the stuff that's going to be short. So they're just selling their stuff for half of what it's worth. The same. Why? It's government. Government's a mess.
Man, that's terrible.
That is terrible. That is so. The frustration. I've talked to some of my buddy is he goes out as an insurance adjuster. He goes out and still doing stuff. And then you just had the rains, which made everything 1,000 times worse in a lot of these areas. He says it's still apocalyptic out there, and there are still a vast majority of homes have never even been cleaned yet. As far as because you have to get a permit to even knock down the rest of your stuff or move trash off of your land. You have to get a special permit for that.
That's crazy, man. I mean, so they pay. Obviously, they all have insurance.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
No.
Because they keep running into roadblock after roadblock.
Yeah. My buddy Jim Kennedy, listening out there in California, said 2 homes is correct in what you said about how many have been built in over a year. Just 2 homes.
Wow.
And how many were destroyed?
Thousands upon thousands.
Yeah, that's California for you. Great job, Newsom. Number 1 in unemployment, homelessness, and houses not getting built.
Yeah, so he's got that going for him. No wonder they got so many homeless people there. We can't get anything done. We can't. And now they're looking into them. Talk about losing money. Was it $40 billion in the last several years have just disappeared? They don't know where it's at.
And now they're proposing a wealth tax.
Yeah.
And they've already got their billionaires leaving the state.
They're already leaving the state. And some of them are like, yeah, I don't mind. But others are like, no. I mean, it's government, right or left. They want your money. They need your money.
When does it end? When is enough is enough?
Yeah.
They're always saying, well, how much money does somebody need to live on? Why don't we ask that question to government?
Yeah, no doubt. Why don't we also ask that question to somebody who lives somewhere where it's expensive to live? When you've got people in California, New York, Chicago, some of these other big cities, soon to be at the rate we're growing Nashville, as you see, when you've got people who are living on six figures and they're living paycheck to paycheck or having to do Uber in a Mercedes, that's insane. That is insane. We've got to do better. We got to pick better. Our picker is broken right now. It is. I can't even believe when I hear stories of, like today I was talking to a lady, I'll play some of it tomorrow. She's out in Minneapolis, and she is talking about the chaos out there. She's talking about all the money stolen, right? But that fraud's been going on for a long time, and everybody's been somewhat complicit in it because it's government, and it's not your money, and so you turn a blind eye. And then over here, you've got this group that's doing something. But, this group, the right group, won't look at the left. The left won't look. It's embarrassing.
It's like Milton Friedman said, nobody stewards another person's money as well as they steward their own.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you give them $2,000, then they'll steward that right to Walmart to get that big TV they've been wanting. Well, you're right, Ken. So if we gave out $2,000, what are you going to do? He's like, they're going to save it. They ain't saving nothing. Nobody does.
Because they consider it found money, not realizing that.
Because they didn't work for it.
It doesn't even, they didn't work for it. It doesn't even truly exist because it was printed without a production correlation. And then it's part of what causes the inflation.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. I'll spend mine too. It's not my problem. Well, it is when the prices go up.
When the prices go up, because the prices are going to go up. If we drop rates a ton, what do you think is going to happen? People are going to go out and spend. And what happens then? Prices are going to go up. And right now we have this bizarre economy where the upper is doing great. The middle is getting crushed. And the lower is serious issues. Serious issues. We're going to talk more about this. And yes, we will get to the football game. Football tonight. Could it be the last night of Aaron Rodgers in his first ballot Hall of Fame career?
Is this the last game of the season for them?
No, well, it's the playoffs tonight, although they're at home and they're taking on the Texans and it's outdoors.
So they're not expected to win.
Well, if it was in Atlanta, if it was in Houston, I would say I would give it to Houston. But cold, nasty, potentially snowy, I think it's going to be a much closer game. I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh wins tonight. So it'll be interesting. That'll be fun. All right, we'll talk about all kinds of other good stuff on the way. Man, so much stuff I haven't got. We haven't even talked about Minneapolis and the continued battle of it was their fault, it was that fault, and it was this, it was that, and everybody's raising money for everybody else. It's insane. Again, insane. Chad Benson Show, Super Tough, 997. So many road rage shootings here.
There's a lot.
It's really weird. I'm surprised how many there are. There wasn't a lot in Phoenix. No, L.A. had, gang shootings, but there's a lot of road rage.
Yeah.
That's why I stay indoors.
I don't blame you.
I go right to pickleball, and that's it. Where I see scantily clad women wearing virtually nothing. There's one texter put it, we were talking about it earlier. They're wearing virtually nothing, some of them. Well, if you don't want us to look, don't wear that. We're not saying you have to dress like the Amish. But come on, who's that for? It's for you, Chad. Sure. Till you take a picture. Then everybody's like, oh, my God, you're a freak. So who do you think wins tonight? Do you think, is this the last ride?
Who is it tonight?
Aaron Rodgers and his fighting Steelers take on C.J. Stroud and the Texans.
I'm going to go with the Texans.
Really?
Yep.
So I don't know.
And I really don't have any other reason other than I just started thinking about it. The Texans seem to have been able to they've seemed to have been able to find ways to win.
Yeah, they turned that corner. They went on a hell of a run. It's crazy. It's the NFL. It's how fast the season came and it's gone. Even though it's 17 weeks or 18 weeks now,
it's blink of an eye, brother.
It is.
Chad.
Same thing with college football, which. By the way, this weekend's game, Indiana's for real. Yes. I mean, they're not. And it's funny, I saw people going, well, this really, what happened to Oregon makes everybody recognize how good Alabama might have been. because they only lost by 31. Just like, what are you talking about?
There were a couple of times in that game I saw Indiana's running back. I don't know his name, but it's number 4. He would make a cut and then plant and then run, and I mean just collide with an Oregon defender, and he was up before the defender. I mean, that kid is the real deal.
Yeah.
That kid runs with violence. And I mean, the backfield for Oregon did not want to see him.
No, they didn't.
Because he was planting them.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where you see when, back in the day whether it was like Herschel Walker.
Yes.
Or, you go and look at some of those guys, what they call making a business decision. Earl Campbell. Hey, I am a free agent this year. I'm going to let Earl score. Remember when Earl ran straight? There's that famous thing when he was playing with the Oilers and he's playing the Rams. He hit the guy in the head with his chest.
Yes.
And then he stepped on his chest as he went into the end zone.
Yes.
And you're like, you're going to be known. I don't even know who that guy is.
I don't either, but I guarantee you after that, he never tried to just head on Earl Campbell ever again.
Business decisions, boys. I'm making a business decision, and this is not it.
The Atlanta Falcons back in the 90s had a running back like that. I want to say his name was Jamal Anderson.
Yeah,
he would just run hard.
He would crush your soul.
He would. I mean, he would. Well, and then who was the one? Oh, gosh, now I can't remember his name. He's on commercials all the time right now. He was a freaking beast. Well, there was Jerome Bettis for Pittsburgh.
The Beast, Bettis, right? And who was the guy?
He was the bus. Bettis was the bus.
No, the Beast up in Seattle.
What was it? Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yes.
He is hilarious, by the way. I saw him in a movie the other day. So funny.
He'd plant you, too.
Oh, God. Remember when he ran, was it the earthquake thing that he ran? He was running, all those guys were holding on to him. He's like running down the field. It was amazing. All right. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program. We'll talk a little bit of this, a lot of bit of that, some more of this, and a whole bunch of that. Plus, we got some weather updates because I'm hearing it could be snowing. And let's talk about that pink cocaine, huh? What nation are we going after next?